everybody, welcome to another on the water edition of Bass Angular. Today we're going to be discussing Neko rigs. Neko rigs. Some people say the Japanese say Neko. A lot of people say they've heard the Japanese people and it's more like the Neko. Nonetheless, it's like a wacky worm rig, but it's got a weight on one side. Traditionally it came out, you fish them deeper, like wacky rigs up to about 5 feet or so, because they take so slow to get down, okay, and it takes so much time. It's more efficient to put a little more weight in it. And then people found out over time that it has a different action. It's not a shaky head, it's not a wacky, it's like a combo. And it's been taking the nation by surprise here for a few years, so let's do some Neko rigging today. A little bassy. Come on, come on. Throw that Neko rig down right on that tree trunk. Oh, spinning rod, watch for those wind knots. Yep. Windy day, they're gonna happen, so you gotta watch. There's no avoiding them. Okay, right in it again, nothing. Okay, had a bite, had a bite. Yeah, I saw something, a bunch swimming around right in here. Didn't have the whole worm though, apparently. But, well, that's the way it goes. August 1st, we just had like a 20-degree overnight air temperature drop. It's been in the 90s for 3 weeks straight. It was 60 this morning. Water was 93 last weekend. Now it's 80, 82. It's dropped 10 degrees. Fish ought to be liking it. The humans are loving it. Okay, I reeled down on him, and then I thought he was snug and gave it a little extra hooky setty, but didn't work. I'm just slowly working it on the bottom. Well, as you can see there, folks, the Neko rigging wasn't going so well. You know, I was pushing it. I flipped a couple laydowns there, caught that one, missed another one. I did finally, after persistence there, as you saw just a minute ago, I had a nice one on for 2 or 3 seconds. Didn't have him hooked up though. Don't know why. It was a brand new hook. He was on there solid. He was pulling drag, but you know, sometimes that's just the way it goes. But next thing that happened, I went into a cove, you'll see here, and I ran into some technical difficulties. I lost my audio. I had this happen on another video. The last Wren Lake video, everything got drenched, and I, let it dry out and everything. And that's all I can think of was happening here. Something was still wet on the inside here. But anyways, we're gonna turn into like maybe a little music video mode here. But I realized I was pushing the envelope and I needed to make a change. So what do you got to do? This happens all the time on the water. We can't tell fish how we're going to catch them. They don't listen. They don't read the same books we do on what they should be doing or shouldn't be doing in August or whatnot. Sometimes you go with a hunch. Sometimes you go with, there's a wealth of YouTube stuff out there. You guys are all watching. And you kind of say, okay, what are the conditions? How are the conditions changing? What should I do? Should I do a different experiment? I need to try something different. I mean, a lot of times when you're not catching fish, maybe you need to change colors. Maybe you need to change a little bit with the cadence of the presentation. Maybe you need to change a technique. Maybe you just need to move and change the area. It can be any one or all of the above. But I got lucky today and I made the right change. All right, so I pulled off into a cove. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to force the Neko rig and it's not really working. I did get that one almost bite there, but I'm like, I'm not feeling it. My spidey sense is saying something a little bit different here. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, okay, it's late summer. The fish are a little bit finicky. And I saw some small shad popping out here and there when I popped into this bay. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a little bitty crankbait out. So I pulled out a Mega Bass Z1. It's a little square bill crankbait. It goes like, maybe 3 or 4 feet. It's only like, 2 inches long, as you can see here. Nice chartreuse and blue back here. And I get this hooked up on this little finesse bait caster. It's not a BFS setup. It's a St. Croix spinnerbait rod, but it's medium action, 7 feet or just under 6'10", 6'11", something like that here. And it's got a really nice feel for a small little crankbait like that. It's in between, say, a real, kind of square bill rod and a BFS rod. You could put this guy on a BFS, and I've thrown it on a BFS. It's a little big for a BFS here. So, yeah, there we go. Get that straightened out a little bit. Got to tune it up first here. just giving it a practice throw over here. Check out the action. See here, there's I'm just in this sandy little cove here, and you can see the watercolor. It's clear-ish, but it's really got that green hue. It's got a bunch of kind of that sand in it, that dirty sand here. But right over there are the rocks. When I came in is where I saw some of the shad busting, and over there in the shade. So I decided to throw, right over there, right on the bank there, pull it twice, and kaboom. It's like instant reaction, instant change of day. I'm going, wow, I think the spidey sense is right here. Oops, he wasn't hooked so good. That happens, but, basically if you have a moment like that, when you're like, okay, my game plan, and this happens all the time. You go in with a game plan, and especially when you're trying to make a video, and it's like not working. You can't tell the fish what they want to bite or what conditions are that day here. And I'm like, okay, here we go here. I'm like, I think I'm onto something here. And I saw some, the waves were starting to creep up, the wind was starting to creep up, and it's actually kind of coming out of the north because it had cooled down, and I really want to take it to another area. So we're about to make a move here, and it's going to be good. Okay, everybody, that was fun. It is so cool when you go out there, and it's even more rewarding. You're not catching them. You're not catching them. You try a few things. You try a few different areas, and you go, wait a second. Let me tap into the gray matter here. What should I do? I need to do something different. What's happening with conditions? You saw me there. I'm like, hey, the wind's kicking up. It's kicking up on the, the main lake. I've been fishing not on the main lake. It's kind of calm. The fisherman's favorite. Storm went by. Cool front coming in. North wind. Bluebird day. We all know that's just horrible for fishing. So I'm like, wait a second. The wind's creeping up. It's kind of coming out of northeast a little bit. It's just like, okay, it's blowing on to the west side of the lake and the exposure to the northeast here. Maybe some waves and rocks. Let me go fish some riprap. And it's late August. I've been seeing some small bait. It's that time of year when you really need to downsize things. Let me downsize that little crankbait and see what happens. And it happened. So that was a lot of fun. I caught a bunch of small, extra little small ones too. I didn't show on there. I just cut the better ones into that little mini music video. But that was really fun. Kind of making the right call, making the right change, pulling the plug when you should, doing something different, and figuring them out. Thanks for coming along. I really appreciate you watching the videos here. Please like and subscribe. Help me out. Help out the content. Give me some comments. Tell me what you want to see. Until then, keep your lines tight.